Mike the Disgruntled Mechanic here. I'm working on a little small air compressor that I had that wouldn't build up pressure, and I assumed it had a leak. I'll show you what I found and what I'm doing, just to show you that whatever tool you have, use what you have at hand. Some of you can't, I know some of you don't have some of these tools, I understand, but use what you can and what's available to find your problem. So the problem I had with this when I took it apart here is there's all the oil that's supposed to be in the compressor, and it's not. It's in there. So I tried to build pressure in it. It'd only go up to 60 pounds, and then it'd stop. It wouldn't build up any more pressure. So I was trying to find the leak with a little bit of soapy water and had no luck. So what I did was I hooked up the red line smoke machine, and I figured, what the heck, that'd probably be the easiest way to find it, by unhooking the tube that puts the air pressure down into the tank here and going in here. So let me set her up and I'll show you what I found. So first off, we have to get all smoked up. We got to turn the smoke on. So we got the red line smoking away here. Now it may get a little smoky here, but I'll try and show you what's happening here. I don't know if how well it's going to show up, but I think you can see right here in the front where this plastic meets the metal, which sort of makes sense with the heat. You can see it's coming out right there, so it's not allowing it to build up the pressure like it should, because it's starting to blow it out there when it gets to about 60 pounds. So we'll take it apart and see what we find. So we just took the 4 screws out, and that's what we found there. All that nice gummus. But we'll have to see. I'm not sure why. Not familiar with this, and I don't have a parts list. I may have to look. I'm not sure why that's blowing out of there, but I assume it shouldn't be. Okay, so that air compressor is so old that there's no parts available for it that I can see. But I don't know if you can see this. This is actually at the bottom, so this thing must have, but there is a crack in the plastic right there, and there's another crack in the plastic up top. So we're not going to get parts for it. The plastic's broke. I don't know, what do you think? That's a pretty bad crack down there. Maybe I'll see. I think I still have the old parts manual. Maybe I'll look in it for the part before we go any further and then see what we're going to do. But apparently that's why it was leaking. There was certainly a problem up here, and there's no gasket that I saw, so that's one of the other reasons I got to look at the parts manual. So yeah, we're fatigued, man. Got breakage there, NFG. Alright, so I think we'll let this go at that. If I get a part, I think there'll be a part 2. I may try to use form a gasket on this or something like that, but with that crack on the bottom and the crack up top, I think we're pretty well hosed. So this is Mike the Disgruntled Mechanic, just saying, remember, use the tools that you got on hand to make your job easier and find things easier, okay? Hey, thanks for watching. See ya. So I showed you what I found earlier, but it still wouldn't hold pressure and it wouldn't pump up properly. So what I did is I took the head off here and I looked in there, and there was a bunch of black gunk in there, and there was also no oil in here after I put it together. So I decided to take this apart. This comes off with the screws, and then of course your piston is in there, but this little cylinder that it's in actually has just 2 gaskets on the bottom of it down in here. So I took that apart, cleaned everything up, cleaned the top of the piston off, cleaned the little, cleaned this up, cleaned a little ring that went around the piston off. I mean, I wish I would have showed it, but I didn't know how things were going to go. I cleaned all that up, put it back together. I sealed this, and now it's actually pumped up to 100 pounds, shut itself off. So it's supposed to come back on at 85. Which, as you see, it does. So we'll let it run up to 100 here, and we'll show that it shuts off. And she's at 100. Okay, so there it is. We got it running. That thing, I only had it a couple months and it started doing that. I've had that probably for 8 or 9 years now and just left it set. So I just decided today to get it out and mess around with it just to see. I wish I would have recorded the whole thing, but I didn't. I mean, it's just a piston in a cylinder. I'm sure most of you guys have seen that, and it was just cleaning all that up and tightening everything back down. And the little gasket on the head up there was just a round O-ring, and just cleaned everything up, tightened that head back down on there, and it's working best as it ever had. So let's hope it keeps working. All right, Mike the Disgruntled Mechanic saying thanks for watching. Glad my little compressor's running. It tickles the heck out of me. All right. See you next time.
Oh, you dirty, rotten bolt! Bolt, how could you break off? You dirty, rotten mother! Oh, dirty, rotten! How dare you break? Oh, I can't believe it broke off! Not again! Oh, man alive! Son of a... Oh, I can't believe it broke off! Jesus! No wonder I'm the disgruntled mechanic!